Welcome back. Now, in today's episode, we'll discuss how much money you can make investing. The answer to the question is very short. The answer is as much money as you want to make. It's infinite. It's absolutely infinite. There's no limit to the amount of money that you can make. Really making money investing is unlimited. All right, it just depends upon what you want to create. So let me give you some basic ideas, and then you can build on that from there. In today's episode, I'll give you examples of monthly annual income that you can create from this unique business. Now, what is my unique business? It's tax, liens, and deeds, which is really just a subset of the normal real estate business. Now, all of this has been around for decades. Anybody can learn how to do it. I'll give you a little insight on this particular video. All right, now the examples I give here are examples. They don't mean you should follow it exactly. You should get it conceptually on what is taking place. So if you try to get the concept and you can get it, great. If you don't get it, just call and ask questions. We're happy to help you. All right, now I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not a registered advisor of any kind. I'm certainly not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a person that sells investments. So that means I'm just a person that's out buying property, plus I'm an author and a publisher. So I'm an investor, and I speak and show you things from an investor standpoint. So I'm not a money manager for any of you that are out there. You need to learn how to do that. I'm an entrepreneur, and I change my mind a lot, and you'll learn to change your mind a lot, and then you can make a lot of money doing this. All right, so as I say, I'm an author and a guide. And when I say a guide, I help people make a very specific amount of money, $25,000 or $50,000, in the tax lien certificate and the tax deed business. Now, everybody wants to make money. So I'll be right back, and I'll show you some steps on how you can do it. Now, this episode is old school real estate. Imagine using this old strategy and using the internet so that you could make high dollars. Well, I'm going to show you that today. The old school real estate's been around for hundreds of years. Everything I'll talk about has been around for decades. It always works if you just follow the cookie cutter approach to it. All right, many of your friends and relatives are going to discourage you. Why? Because, first of all, they don't want you to fail. Plus, they don't want you to lose you as a friend. They want you to stay the way you are. When you start making $25,000 and $50,000 on a deal, you're going to be surprised yourself. Now, many of these properties are used and abused. Some are just junk, don't buy the junk. Some are move-in quality. Now, the old school of real estate was buy a property, put a white picket fence around it, paint it and clean it up. The new school is not that. The new school is buy it and sell it to one of the guys or gals that wants to do that. Why? Because it's very expensive to fix up properties. The day of hiring someone for $10 an hour, that's gone. The day of finding people that have craft skills, whether they're journeyman or master or even apprentice, is going to be very difficult because there's a demand for these people. Now, those people have a demand, whether they're good or bad. They get high wages, and they might not do the job, and you might get disappointed because then you can't sell the property and get any money. So I say buy it low and sell it low. All right, so this is a perfect business for someone that wants to sit on their rusty dusty. You can sit at the computer where you're watching me right now and learn how to research across the United States. There's over 3,000 counties that will sell tax defaulted property. Over 3,000. So many of those counties will have more than one auction. So that means there's going to be at least 5,000 auctions this year. All right, now we give classes on how to do that research, and we do those classes regularly every single week. We have facilitators, we have coaches to help with all that. I won't discuss it on this video, but you're getting the idea. In this particular episode, I'm answering your question, how much money can you make investing? And seriously, I'm telling you, there's no limits. I have people that make $25,000 and $50,000 on one deal. I have many that do over $100,000 on one deal. Not once, not twice, but they do that regularly. Now, if you listen or you watch television, what's happening? You're hearing about those big guys making money, the Bill Gates, the Jeff Bezos of the world. They're making a ton of money. Well, it's almost like they're money wizards, because once they learned how to do it, they just kept doing it and multiplying it. Well, you can do the same thing. They did it with the stock market. you can do it with this business. Now, let's be realistic. Are you going to become a billionaire? No. Are you going to get rich by next Friday? No. But if you want to make $25,000, $50,000 on one deal, stay with this, and I'll definitely show you how to do it. I have clients doing it all the time. All right, so basic real estate is what I'm talking about. Traditional real estate is homes. It's also residential lots that are vacant, but they're buildable. It's also small farms. It's also small office buildings, okay? What I'm doing is I'm involved in a subset of that business. And the subset is many of those properties go to default because people pass away, they move, they abandon. One thing's for sure, they didn't pay the tax. If they don't pay the tax, the county will do something about it. It starts with the legislature of the state. They mandate everyone pay taxes. They send a notice down to the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors has the treasurer go out and not only levy the tax, but try to collect the tax. And if they can't collect the tax, the treasurer, on behalf of the county, is going to confiscate the property. All right. Now, in all cases, you can make money just by understanding the business. All right. It's not going to be difficult. I got tons of people I've taught. Hundreds and hundreds of people nationwide have learned how to do this. All right. So if you're entrepreneurial and you want to start a business, you can start this business with very few dollars and you can build it to whatever you want. All right. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take you to do this, but people generally learn this in 3 to 6 months. Now, everyone that's out there trying to do it is going to be discouraged by financial planners, by attorneys, and by title companies and whatever. Why? Because they don't want you to fail. So be sure that you think about it before you start doing it. Don't just do it. Get someone to train you, whether it's a coach, a mentor, a home study course, whatever it is. Learn how to do it. If you don't learn how to do it, you could make a big mistake. Anybody can do this. You just need a small amount of money to start with. We're only going to do it with houses, maybe small apartments, small office buildings, and of course, residential real estate. All right, I really like residential vacant lots because most people don't want to bid on that. So nationwide, we have 100 million properties. That's a lot of property. All right, if those properties pay taxes, nobody ever knows about it. But about 1 to 3% of those properties will go into tax default. Now, because someone passed on, or someone abandoned it, or someone got divorced, they're not paying the taxes. So the county will take those properties, take them, I mean by that, they'll confiscate the property, they'll seize the property, they'll push anybody on the property off, and then they'll resell it. What are they going to resell it for? For 10 cents, 20 cents on the dollar. They'll discount the property 60, 70, 80% because they want to get rid of the property. Why do they want to get rid of it? Because they don't want the property. So they want to get it back on the tax roll, so they discount it, and anybody can go to the auction. Now, how do you know about the auction? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, it's going to be on the county website. It's going to be in the local newspaper. All right, where does all this start? It starts with the state legislature. They passed the law that everybody must pay taxes that owns property. Okay, who enforces the law? Well, they have the sheriff down there at the county level enforce the law. So the sheriff and the treasurer get together, and if that property has delinquent taxes, they go right away and they seize the property, they confiscate it, and they resell it for pennies on the dollar. Anybody can resell this property. Anybody can buy this resold property. All right, if the taxes are uncollectible, I can tell you right now, the treasurer is going to take a lot of advantage of that right away. All right, why is the treasurer doing that? Because someone has to pay for the schools, for the police department, the fire department. You're getting the idea. All those bills at the county have to be paid. All right, so the treasurer is then authorized to sell the property for pennies. Now, what do you mean pennies? That means they'll start the auction at the back taxes, and then they'll discount it from whatever the retail price was or whatever the tax assessed value. So if the tax assessed value is $100,000, they'll drop the price 60, 70, 80%. I hope you're getting the idea here. So these properties, for a savvy buyer, these properties are the deal of a century. You can buy it for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar. So how much money can you make? Well, if you can buy a property for 10 cents on the dollar and resell it for 50 or 60 cents on the dollar, how many would you want to buy? Well, before you answer the question, let me tell you this. When you buy that property, the county treasurer cancels any mortgage or deed of trust loan on that property. So now you're buying a property for 10 cents on the dollar with no mortgage on it. How many would you like to buy? You certainly want to buy a lot of them. So that's what's happening. Now the small counties with just small populations, they'll have dozens of those. On the counties that have large populations, you can expect to find hundreds, and sometimes in places like Los Angeles, you can find thousands of these properties available at auction. Starting bid is as close as they can get to the back taxes. All right, so what have I been discussing? I've been discussing how you could make money investing, and you could do it on a pretty regular basis. Now, I'm running out of time, and as I run out of time, I want to remind you of this. The properties will be sold at close to back taxes. Anybody can go to the auction. It's a public auction. They're going to be auctioned in more than 3,000 counties in the United States. When you buy a property at auction, the mortgage is wiped out. Now, right below me is a free gift. 2 words of caution before I go. 1, don't buy a property unless you put boots on the ground and you've seen the property. Why? What if there was a fire? What if there was a hurricane? What if there was a big windstorm? What if it was next to a chicken farm? Think about all that. All right. Second rule that you want to pay attention to, and close attention, is don't buy anything that you haven't already thought what you're going to sell it for. The beauty of the business is you can buy for a bargain, you want to sell for a bargain. Do you have enough margin to do that? So you want to do that before, figure all that out before you do any buying. Right below me is a free gift.